Our UB has 4 faculties which offer over 40 programs. You are each a member of one of these faculties. I'll begin the introductions with the Faculty of Education and Arts. Can the lecturers of this faculty stand, please? This faculty is led by Dean Nestor Chan, who holds a doctorate in education in organizational leadership and higher education from Nova University in the United States. Students, Dean Chan. Thank you. Thank you. The Faculty of Management and Social Sciences. Can the lecturers of this faculty rise? The Faculty of Management and Social Sciences is led by Dr. Bernard Watler, who also holds a doctorate in education in organizational leadership and higher education from Nova University, United States. Students, Dean Watler. The Faculty of Nursing, Allied Health and Social Work. Can the lecturers please rise? Dean Leolyn Swift Castillo, the leader of this faculty, holds a master's in public health from the University of South Florida, United States, a post-diploma in psychiatric nursing, and who is currently pursuing a doctoral degree in nursing science from Texas Women's University in Denton, Texas. Student, Dean Castillo. The Faculty of Science and Technology. Can these instructors please rise? This faculty is headed by Dean Julian Pasos, who holds a master's degree in chemistry from Texas A&M University, United States. Students, Dean Pasos. Thank you. In addition to the 4 faculties, University of Belize also provides support services. From the Division of Student Affairs, which includes student services, recreation and sports, and wellness, is led by Dr. Jean Perriott. All right, she's busy with this program, so she's somewhere around. Dr. Perriott holds a PhD in counseling psychology from the University of Louisville, Kentucky, United States. We're also happy to have with us Dr. Cynthia Thompson. Dr. Thompson is currently the Assistant Provost at the University of Belize, a post to which she was appointed in June 2009. Dr. Thompson was also the first Dean of the Faculty of Education and Arts. She holds a PhD in Education Policy, Planning and Analysis from the Florida State University, United States. Students, Dr. Thompson. At the helm of UB, we have our Vice President and President. Dr. Marriott Simon, our Vice President, graduated from H. Wayne Huizenga School of Business and Entrepreneurship with a doctorate in Business Administration, specializing in international management. All right, let's take a pause as we welcome Minister Faber.
Good to have you.
Okay, Dr. Simon has taught at both the undergraduate and graduate levels in business, economics, management, and leadership. He also has an extensive experience in academic leadership and has developed new policies and procedures to streamline operations, increase efficiencies, as well as develop strategies to increase student enrollment at universities. He continuously strives for excellence in delivery and educational product and focuses on the provision of superior customer service to all stakeholders. Students, our Vice President, Dr. Margaret Simon. I am also extremely pleased to present to you our esteemed President, Professor Emeritus Dr. Clement Sankat. You all, our students of UB, of this university as its main focus. So let's hear going forward to achieve. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Spineda. I think it is part of the senior management team here at the University of Belize and our HR director, Ms. Herta. Engineer by training with degrees in medical engineering from the University of West Indies and a PhD from the University of Guelph in Canada. He has a long and distinguished career at the University of West Indies as a scholar and as an administrative leader. Professor Emeritus Dr. Sankat was promoted to full professorship in 1998 and served in many positions. Professor Emeritus Sankat believes that the role of the University of Belize must be as a first priority to provide much larger numbers of Belizean students from across the country and an opportunity for a quality tertiary education, thereby nurturing future leaders for various professions as well as developing critical thinkers and providing a launchpad for creative and talented entrepreneurs. Distinguished guests, Vice President, faculty, student, it gives me great and warm pleasure to welcome our President, Professor Emeritus Dr. Sankat, to the microphone to deliver the President's address. Dr. Sankat.
Thank you very much, our Mistress of Ceremonies, our Dean of the Faculty of Nursing and Allied Health. I didn't know you could sing so, but I really appreciate what you did to bring some life to these proceedings and, of course, to bring us all together as a UB team. I found that to be very, very special. And I haven't seen a matriculation ceremony when that has been done before, but we are breaking new ground today. And hopefully that stays on our agenda for next year. Thank you very much, Dean. Let me recognize the presence of our esteemed Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports, the Honorable Patrick Faber. Welcome, Honorable Minister. Let me welcome our Vice President, our Registrar, all our administrative leaders who are here, our Dean of Students who worked very hard and is out there, and she has planned this entire ceremony, Dr. Perriott. To the faculty and staff, let me recognize the deans and the heads of departments and all the faculty who have taken the time to be here with us this afternoon. But most importantly, let me welcome all of you, our new students. Welcome to the University of Belize. it is truly a pleasure also for us to welcome our Deputy Prime Minister and our line minister, or Minister of Education, to this UB's very historic. This is a first matriculation ceremony at the University of Belize. All of you here are creating history, because when the history is written of this university, you will say, I was part of that very first matriculation ceremony. So keep that in mind, or write it down in your notebook. But thank you, Honorable Minister, for taking the time from what we know is your very busy governmental and parliamentary duties to be here with us on this very special occasion. We really appreciate it. And let me also say, we appreciate the support given to the National University of Belize by the government of Belize over the years. And all these new students gathered here, some are on full GOB, Government of Belize scholarships. And many, and I know there are hundreds, are beneficiaries of loan schemes that are also backed by the Government of Belize. I ask our students, therefore, and staff, to show their appreciation to the Honorable Minister through a warm round of applause. All the support was given to us at the university. Thank you, Minister. And as we go forward, Honorable Minister, growing, transforming, as you heard from our Dean, and strengthening this national institution, not only for you, but for future generations of students, and for this country of Belize, we look to the continued support of the government of Belize. Thank you once more for being here. Let me warmly welcome you, my dear students, to this first matriculation ceremony. I want to begin by saying to you how pleased I am to be here in this Jaguar Auditorium that is overflowing with students. I couldn't ask for more as president. You have begun to fulfill the dreams I have for this university. Thank you all very much for coming, and thanks to the staff for being here, for welcoming our students. I am pleased to advise that as of yesterday, and thanks to our university registrar, we have registered 4,668 new and returning students to the University of Belize. I repeat, 4,668. And as our Dean Castillo said, you are very privileged students to be here at the University of Belize. And therefore, you should show gratitude to all of those who made this possible. Preschool, primary school, secondary school, your parents, your guardians, your loved ones, because I know it is a tremendous sacrifice to come to university. And I want to send a message to all of them. Thank you for supporting these students to come to the University of Belize. Matriculating today will be 1,158 new students. And the majority are, once more, female students, 630. I want the males to catch up, so send the message. You be open for males too, plenty more, right? We have registered 367 new students at Belize City, thanks to my deans, out of a total of 1,618 students. So the Belize City campus has 1,618 students, and therefore is an important seat of knowledge and education for Belize. Belmopan, we have registered 665 new students out of a total of 2,633 students. So this is the center. At Punta Gorda, 109 students out of a total student population of 378. Far down in the south, we got to pay a lot more attention what is happening there, and we got to energize that place also. And of course, you know we have a campus at Central Farm. How many people know that? In Cayo? We have a campus there, teaching agriculture. and we have registered 17 new students. I'm told it's higher, out of a total of 46. Food and agriculture is so important for all our sustenance. But all these numbers that I just said are subject to change. Registration is continuing, and the registrar has told me, and I think the staff would be pleased to hear, that we have arrested the decline in enrollment at UB, and the numbers are greater than last year. Thank you all very much, Deans. Thank you very, very much. It is good for UB, but it is more good for the Belize, because we all believe that by bringing students to our national university, giving them a university education, this country will be a richer, more prosperous country as we go forward. So thanks very much. This matriculation ceremony, as we all know, is the first, is a formal ceremony that marks your enrollment as a student of the National University of Belize. It symbolizes your rite of passage into this university, that you have met the standards for entry into our university, and that you are now enrolled as a student in a certificate, associate degree, or degree program of this university. Congratulations, my dear students. You have done well before you came to UB, and I now expect that not only you will be successful at the university, but you will do better than you did before. So work hard. You are now members of this university community, whether you are from our campuses in Belize City, Belmopan, Central Farm, and Punta Gorda. With membership of this university that you would have achieved today comes rights and responsibilities, as well as privileges. You have the principal right to have access to a first-rate education and experience at UB. That is why you are here, and that is why students come at the center of this enterprise. You have the right to learn and to experience and to grow within our classrooms, within our laboratories, within our libraries, our campus spaces, our cultural and sporting spaces. Let these university years be memorable ones. Years that set you, one, firmly through dedicated study and diligence on the path to being strong, knowledgeable professionals and exceptional leaders. University education must be about producing leadership and leadership skills. Not only strong professional skills, you need to be the future leaders of our societies, of our professions, of our disciplines. Let this time help to hone and develop your critical, creative, and problem-solving skills at UB with the direct guidance and mentorship of my academic colleagues. Let this be a time to strengthen and mature you with knowledge and skills to becoming good, industrious, and decent working citizens of Belize, uplifting your families, your communities, and your country. Let this be a time to build lasting friendships and develop great respect. In fact, to celebrate the rich diversity, cultural diversity of this country. You will encounter all of that here. And finally, let this be a time to practice repeatedly good habits of honesty, integrity, respect, humility, sharing, and caring that will win the respect of others throughout not only this journey at UB, your future life. Sharing and caring are important qualities for students. Learn to share, learn to work as teams. So in taking this journey through UB, remember your obligations to the university. We have developed a wonderful new students handbook. read the student's handbook that informs you on your rights, but also informs you on your responsibilities. Please remember that if you enjoy the many newfound freedoms that come with university life, there are responsibilities that make the oath that you will be taking shortly so very important. Please understand this. Wear your UB badge with pride. I think mine is somewhere here. Back? Wear your UB badge with pride. These are brand new gowns, transformation also, so I don't even know where they are. But I made sure they put the logo, so wear your brand with pride. Okay? UB is a young institution. Started in 17 years, young institution. You are therefore joining a national institution that is growing. Sometimes we have what is called growing pains. You don't suddenly ban and walk. When you ban, you have to creep, got to learn to stand up, and we are going through all of that. So please understand this. We have many things to be fixed. We use the word a work in progress, as they say. But one thing you can be assured, all of us here on the front, we are determined to fix this place and to make it a place that you can be proud of. We cannot do it alone, and you need to walk with us. I want you to practice the habits here of problem solving. Not only being armchair critics. I want you to be able to solve problems. I want you to be able to be good volunteers, volunteerism. I want you to give back. I also want to assure you, I welcome your ideas. My email is something that I respond to. Anyone who emails me, they will get a response. My email is known to everyone. Each one of you at the University of Belize is now an ambassador of the University of Belize. So whatever you say, whatever you do, always uphold that brand. Because guess what? By taking that oath this afternoon, this is a brand that you will wear for an entire lifetime. I repeat, the UB brand is a brand that you are going to wear like many distinguished sons and daughters of Belize who have gone before you for a lifetime. So once more, welcome to UB community. Welcome to the UB team. We walk this new road together, as our dean has said. And when you leave, you will leave a brighter legacy for others to follow. So let us build UB together. I love all of you dearly, and I look forward to supporting your careers, your development, and working with you. Thank you very much.
Responsibilities and privilege. And the rights and responsibilities goes both ways. For the facilitators, for it is a privilege for you to have been accepted into a university. And the oath of matriculation, we want you to continue to sell UB in a positive light. The social media is an easy medium to facilitate negativity. Negativity breeds negativity. And so we're asking that each one of you act as our ambassadors for this national university in a positive light. When you surround yourself with positive attitudes, that is what emanates positivity. I now ask Ms. Catherine Terenzi to give us a musical interlude. Yes. Culture, Youth and Sports, Honorable Patrick Fowler. Because not only has he committed to the use of this principle in his own life, he has meshed it with the philosophy of the Ministry of Education to make sure that every purposeful Belizean child's future is productive, prosperous, and bright. Patrick Jason Fowler, born on March 21st, 1978, is the youngest minister in the United Democratic Party's current administration and the youngest to ever sit in Parliament. For a young man, still a young man, he has achieved quite a lot in his lifetime. Not only political successes, but personal triumphs as well. Having graduated from St. John's College, Junior College, in 1996, with an associate degree in economics and history, he went on to study at Valdosta State University, where he acquired a bachelor's degree in economics. After returning from university in 1998, he took a teaching position at Anglican Cathedral College, where he rose through the ranks and became the vice principal responsible for student affairs. So you know he had student at heart. A position he kept until 2007, when he reluctantly left to focus on his campaign for his bid for re-election. He also holds a master's degree in educational leadership from the University of North Florida and was enrolled in a Doctor of Education in Higher Education program at Oklahoma State University, but had to defer his studies due to the rigors of his ministerial duties. What more than his academic achievements, Minister Fowler continues to use these accomplishments to encourage Belizeans, especially you, our young people, to do their utmost best in all they do. His political achievements include, in 1999, topping the polls for the United Democratic Party in the Belize City municipal elections. He also won by the largest margin of victory in the College constituency. History, and again, made history when he secured consecutive victories in the general elections of 2003 and 2008. He has served the United Democratic Party from the early 1990s, serving on the National Youth Commission and as the party's representative on the board of many organizations. His passion for the field of education has remained consistent throughout the years. Under his leadership, more students have been able to go to school because of grant funding provided by the government, and recently, teachers have also been given the opportunity to qualify themselves with more financial assistance and training programs. And I can attest to that because he has done so for me. Thank you, Minister. He has spearheaded educational reforms in the right direction to increase access to and equity in education at all levels for all Belizeans, while simultaneously putting in place the structures and systems to improve the quality of education. His passion and leadership is further manifested in his political willingness to take tough, sometimes unpopular decisions. Minister Fowler is the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports. I now call on our Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, Youth, Culture and Sports, Honorable Patrick Fowler.
As well as our deans and all the faculty and staff of this university, and you, the new matriculating students, good afternoon. Every time I hear that introduction, Dean Castillo, I realize how old I'm getting because some of it is dated. And before I land myself into trouble, let me make some updates. I studied from Oklahoma State in a doctoral program. Because of the rigors of the ministry at the time, I have continued to be a student. And in fact, I picked up a doctoral program in public administration from my alma mater, Valdosta State, where I am now ABD. The dissertation is killing me. And if the professional, technical people here can offer any assistance, we can talk afterwards. I make that point not to boast, but to show you that no matter where you are in your career, educational advancements and the seeking of knowledge is very important, and we never stop learning. And so I want to encourage you not to leave education behind, but make it a continuous pursuit. I wish to place on record, Mr. President, my congratulations to you and my apologies for missing the installation, a ceremony that was held a few weeks ago, as I was unable to return as I had promised you that I would. But from what I hear, it was a grand occasion, as is the case here today, celebrating the matriculation of so many students. And I offer you and the new Vice President the greatest congratulations on behalf of myself and my ministry, and also my cabinet colleagues, including the Prime Minister, on this appointment and your installation. And we wish you well in the journey ahead. Let's give our President a round of applause. I take pride in saluting the President because I came to the graduation ceremony. When was it, President? In June. And immediately I was able to tell that there was a different atmosphere at the University of Belize. I could tell immediately that this is the long-awaited opportunity for us to get things going, to take away what some have given to you a negative stigma, to put an end to all of the naysayers who have said that the University of Belize is not all that it should be. This, my friends, is the opportunity to do so, and I salute you, President, and your administrative staff for having this event, for creating historical events like this, because this is what is going to be etched in the minds of the students present, but also the wider community who is looking toward the University of Belize for leadership. And so I salute you. And I tell you that you have an opportunity now, young people, to make your mark. To make your mark on the University of Belize, yes, but also to make your mark on the overall development of Belize. Because that is important. You have to understand that this is not something that we say alone. It is cliché for you to hear. The young people are the future, the young people are the future. And more so at the National University, they want you to take on the responsibility, they say all the time, for you to lead this country's development, and that is a talk shop. For the most part, you have the opportunity to make that into a reality. And it starts today as you matriculate here in this university. You know, I know the feeling of getting an acceptance letter in the mail, or as it stands now in your email, in your inbox. I remember, just an aside story, that I went to Valdosta State University in 1996, and I was introduced to email for the very first time, but it didn't matter because all the people who I wanted to email or to keep contact with were in Belize, and they didn't have any email. But you have that option now to communicate via the technology. And I remember receiving in the mail my acceptance letter. I'll also tell you another story to show you how UB has grown. When I was 16, I graduated from St. John's, as you heard in my biography, and I was encouraged by a friend of mine to apply to the University of Belize for a paralegal program. I wanted to do this program because I wanted to be a lawyer. If you look at my sixth form background, the economics, and I'm thankful I didn't become a lawyer, by the way. But that was my ambition, and I thought I would apply for this certificate in the paralegal program. And I applied to UB. I paid my $30, which might have now accrued to quite a pretty penny if you charge interest. It's still the same price, you see? We're looking to change that.
Like everything else.
I paid my $30, and I was told by my friend who encouraged me to apply, who had inquired about why I never got a response letter from the University of Belize. And the reason was that I was only 16 years of age, and that in fact, I was not mature enough in terms of just the age. They don't know me. Wasn't mature enough to enter that program because it had to do with law and all of that. They wanted people who were 18 and over. I'm telling that story for a reason. I'll come back to that because that is important. Right? But I know how happy you were to have received in the mail a letter that said you are accepted to the University of Belize. You are accepted to become a part of the family of the University of Belize, Belize's National University. It was a good feeling, was it not? Yes. And some of you may have dreamt of that day. Some of you ended up here because you didn't want to do something else, and your parents said you have to go. Some of you may have ambitions to go to do something else, but in the meantime, you don't want to be idle, so you're occupying the space here at UB to keep productive. Doesn't matter why you're here. The fact of the matter is that you're here, and we want to encourage you to be proud. I loved what the president said, that you are a part of this University of Belize family, and you should never ever let them tell you that you're not a part of something good. This country is depending on you. The entire country is looking up to you, and you are among the cream of the crop of this country. You know, I listened as the president, I think it was, commented on the number of students returning and new students matriculating like yourselves. And he said there were 4,600 plus, if I'm not mistaken. Let me tell you, that is a record. That is tremendous growth for the University of Belize. I remember when I became Minister of Education, maybe 9 going on 10 years ago, there were only 2,000 plus students at the University of Belize. And so for us to get to this level where there are close to 5,000 students, that is a marked accomplishment for our country. And I am sure that the tertiary level enrollment across this country has improved. And that is a sign of positive development. Let's give ourselves a round of applause for that as well. But less people believe that all of us have a place at the tertiary level. And although I'll be criticized for it, let me say that tertiary education is not made for everybody. Academic education may not be for everybody. And so when you find yourself in this place of higher education, this place of higher learning, understand that you really are the cream of the crop and that the development of our country is dependent on you. Can't be dependent on anybody else. Other people help, but in terms of giving direction and leadership, it has to be you. And that is why it is so very important for you to embrace this, for you to take it seriously. You know, I think it may have been the president. You're a wise man, President, so I will refer to a lot that you've said. Who said that? He said that you will experience new freedoms, Because when you were in secondary school, a bell rings, it tells you to go to class. And then another bell rings and it tells you the class is finished. And you don't move. In fact, you stay in the same place most of the times. And then the teacher comes in and the class begins. You don't go about and wander. You're not allowed to leave the compound. But at university or at the tertiary level, it's a different story. Nobody's going to big stick you and police you. You turn up to class if you're serious, and if you're at this level and you're not serious, man, you're waste with time, you're waste with money, you're waste your money, you're waste your time. You know how you go through high school, peeping at your friend's paper, taking in your cheat sheet, doing whatever you need to make the grade to pass, because you genuinely struggle with a number of subjects which you might not be interested in. But when you are at this level, you have said that you want to pursue higher education, you want to narrow your study down, and there is no room for that kind of complacency, that kind of delinquency anymore. It is now that you mean business, and you need to demand that quality from your instructors, your professors, because they too need to take this seriously. I've heard those complaints, especially about adjunct professors. You need to take the work seriously, and you need to realize that this country is depending on you. You are the cream of the crop. These people are entrusted to deliver that knowledge to you, to share that knowledge with you. By the way, your professors can't teach you everything. By now you should know how to acquire knowledge. That is what higher education is really all about. Your teachers and your instructors and your professors are here to guide you. I remember, and I'm pretty sure that there are some even in the faculty here who did the UNF Master's program in the manner in which I did it. 3 weeks you do a class in the morning or in the afternoon. You have a class in the morning and a class in the afternoon. Right, Dean Esther? You were my classmate. You do a class in the morning and a class in the afternoon. And then a whole week, the 4 days out of the week, Monday to Thursday, so only 12 sessions. And when you're finished with a class, there is no way that you can guarantee that you know everything in that book or that professor taught you everything. But you know what you walk away with after those 12 sessions? The knowledge that that content exists, and that if you need that kind of professional or technical knowledge for your delivery as a teacher, we were education students, that you know where to find it. If you could go look that up and you could make yourselves your own learners. So the excuses that students use at this level really should not include the teacher bad, she don't know where the door can't teach, because that is neither here nor there. You have a textbook, you have a syllabus. You should be taking care of your own learning. That is not to excuse the professors and the instructors. They too must do the best job to be a resource for our students. So we're looking forward to that. So my friends, I encourage you to be good, strong learners, to take this responsibility of being a student of the University of Belize very seriously. There's another reason why I was very happy to take on the invitation to be here this afternoon. I take my responsibility as Minister of Education and also Minister of Youth very seriously. And there are many in this country, even though I was going to say we, but then I realized I'm past that stage. We, young people. You know what they say, 75% of our population is 35 years of age and under. And so I used to tell people, well, I'm a part of that 75%. Then I quickly phased out of that. Actually, it started at 29 and then it moved to 35. I'm trying to lobby for them to change it to 40 now. But even then, I may soon exit the category. But we are the majority of the population, if you allow me to slide. We are the majority of this population. And we cannot afford for the stigma on us to be that we are young and we are fickle and we are undecided about what it is we want to do. I told you I'd return to that story about applying to UB and not being accepted. I didn't get a formal answer, so I can't say it on the record that that was the reason. But from what I heard through the grapevine, it was because I was not old enough. That's a big mistake in my view. Because young people are talented, we have some of the best ideas and some of the best brain power in this country and by extension in the world. We have young people who have the greatest potential to do good, not only in the future, but also now. So don't let anybody tell you because of your age, you're 16, you're 15. So we have some probably 15 and 16-year-olds coming from high school matriculating here today. 17 and 18, you're not old enough to drive, you're not old enough to vote, so they think you have no ideas. That's a lie. I remember when I became Minister of Education at age 29. The 29 didn't last very long, maybe a month or two before I turned 30. But at the same time, we were trying to fill a vacancy for the presidency of the Senate of our country. And there was a recommendation for a young man from Orange Walk to be the president of the Senate. This young man was at the time, I think 27 or 28. He had a law degree. He was an instructor at Muffles Junior College. And guess what? He never became the president of the Senate. Why? Because the Constitution of our country at the time said that he was too young. You had to be 30 years of age or older in order to be the president of the Senate. And you could imagine how that bothered me. Because I was 29. I had spent 5 years in the National Assembly already. And if you remember what I was like then, fighting on the opposition benches. That was when they dragged me across the UB field right here. Feisty. But standing up for what I believed in, nobody could have said to me at that time that a young person in their 20s, early or late, who had their heads screwed on correctly. I have a difficulty with the tense there, but the English people will correct me afterwards. Would not have been competent and capable enough to take on a serious leadership position. They made me Minister of Education, probably the most important of all portfolios. I may be a bit biased. At 29, but you could not appoint a person who was in his 20s, late 20s, to be president of the Senate. But you know, I led the campaign to change that, and now it stands at 24, which was a compromise. I think even somebody who is a bit younger, we need some experience as well. Don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking the older folks. But nobody should tell you because of your age that your contributions to Belize's development, to the development of your family, to the development of your UB community, to the development of the wider community in which you live, your contributions to Belize, your contributions to the world, they're important and they're big. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it. I remember when I was in opposition, and I'm not being political, this is just my reality, this is my life. There was a very senior member of the government, the Prime Minister at that, not our Prime Minister, not my Prime Minister, the former Prime Minister, who leaned across the railing and said, "You little boy, you have an aneurysm, calm down." He said, "You will never be the Minister of Education." And I said to myself, I will be the Minister of Education. And today I'm the longest serving Minister of Education, 9 years and counting. I don't think I'm going anywhere soon. At least for not, the Prime Minister said no early election. I might be here. Maybe greater things will move me, but I'm here. And then that same individual, still in the House of Representatives, leaned over one time and said, "Look at him, he's trying to become deputy leader of his party, will never be the deputy leader. And I said, thank you, Lord, for having him put mouth on me one more time. Because I became the deputy leader of my party and the deputy prime minister. So I plead with him now to put mouth on me one more time. I tell you that, my friends, because there are people in high places, people that love and care for you, people who you respect even, who will believe that they know what is best for you better than you. And that's a lie. You know what is best for you. I'm not telling you to disrespect the advice of older and more experienced people. I am saying to you that you are the persons in charge, the drivers, the pilots of your destiny. And you should not let anybody discourage you from doing whatever it is you want to be, because you can do it. And so, my friends, as you start this very, very important journey, this very important aspect of your lives, start it with vigor, start it with energy, because the energy might not always be there. As you go along, you get a bit weary, you get a bit tired, and you need injections of energy as you go along. But if you start strong, you stand a better chance of finishing strong. There are some late bloomers who might be here sitting down, and Father, sit down now. And this ceremony is not really energizing me. But maybe your injection will come down the road at some point. Some people need harsher, more rough awakenings. Maybe you fail a semester or so and they threaten to kick you out, then you realize all of a sudden you need to study. Don't be a late bloomer. You don't have to be. You can apply yourselves now and you can start to chart that very successful path forward for yourselves. And please do so also for this very, very important institution, the University of Belize. Mr. President, I thank you for the opportunity, and I thank you all for listening. God's blessings.
Thank you, Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Education, Youth and Culture, Sports, Honorable Patrick Fowler. As I sat there and listened to your speech to the students, the first thing that comes to mind is self-evaluation. Evaluation of yourself. What is it that you want? And it happens that it's bidirectional, meaning faculty as well as student. Who are you as an individual? What is your vision? What is your goal in life? And so it is both ways. We're looking at faculty and student, that we must do some sort of self-evaluation to determine where we want to go. While I understand the minister said the young students, I am still young. I still fall in that category because I think I can still do the same thing that you guys can do. However, I think amidst the fact that you have the talent and you are critical and problem solvers, one of the greatest things I believe that can hinder you from reaching your destiny is your attitude. Your attitude in life determines your altitude, how far you're going to go. So if you have a positive attitude, and I keep on saying it, because students tend to hone in on negativity. Surround yourself with positive people, and you're going to see positive results.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, on behalf of all of us, staff and students. Thanks for your rousing speech. You're always welcome here. Thank you.
Faculty of Education and Arts, Hisin Holin, Margarita Maria Rivero Iriarte, and Rafael Aguilar Zamudu.
Students, kindly rise and take the matriculation oath of the University of Belize by repeating after me. All students, please. On admission to membership to the University of Belize, I sincerely promise and solemnly declare that I will faithfully abide by the UB Code of Conduct, observe the university's rules and regulations, uphold the academic honor pledge, and provide the influence of my good example to my peers and the community. To UB, which is due honor and respect, I shall strive never to bring your name into disrepute, but to provide your welfare and success. UB, this is my pledge.
In the name of the President of the University of Belize, by the powers vested in me as Vice President, I declare all of you students present here today duly matriculated at the University of Belize. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Can you Will the students from the Faculty of Management and Social Sciences, Araceli Mustram, Isoline Bailey, Sherwin Hernandez, kindly come and sign the matriculation register. Will the students from the Faculty of Nursing, Allied Health and Social Work, Cynthia Kopp, Sarita Choco, and Nisani Goff, kindly come forward and sign the register. From the Faculty of Science and Technology, will the students Daryl Avila, Julia Puerto, and Jorge Hidalgo kindly come step forward and sign the matriculation register. Thank you, students. We now ask Ms. Catherine Lorenzi to play the UB song.